What up, people? I'm the Godless Engineer, and today, yes, I said that I would come up with destroying Easter traditions. Now, there's a lot of Easter traditions out there that we really don't know why they're fucking associated with Easter. I mean, there's the easy, lazy answer of saying that, it's just pagan symbols that were introduced into Christianity. And it's not that that's not true. That is definitely true. But there are more intricate explanations for why these traditions became mixed in with Christianity, became associated with the resurrection of Jesus. Now, there's a lot of jokes out there about how, there's no Easter bunny in the Bible, and why the fuck do we associate an egg-laying bunny with fucking Easter? Did Jesus fuck the bunny in a cave, and then he felt so ashamed of his sin that he was like, "You bunny, you better go out there and hide those bastard eggs right now, because I'm not going to have little bunny Jesus mixture babies running around this place." It's not like Jesus did that, or, Jesus poked his head out and was like, "Haha, I hid all the eggs. Now go find them and then I'll come out." Jesus didn't do any of that. So there's no reason for egg-laying bunny to be associated with Easter, but for some reason he is. And why is that? Well, for one thing, in the ancient world, bunnies, of course, were, they were prolific symbols of fertility and all that kind of jazz. Now, the actual history behind it's a little fuzzy, but according to a few sources, apparently, this egg-laying hare came across with the Germans when they settled here in America, Pennsylvania to be specific. This tradition was called Osterhase, or Osterhase. What would happen during this time period is the kitties, they would make nests, kind of like bird nests, but for rabbits, and they're on the ground. They would make these nests, and apparently this Easter bunny or this egg-laying hare would come by and lay eggs in the nest, and therefore the kids would have these eggs on Easter morning. Oh, yeah, they'd be colored. I don't know why, I don't know what kind of nuclear material that Easter bunny got into, but apparently he did. He got into it, and he got fucked by some kind of nuclear irradiated legendary rabbit from the Fallout universe, and he popped out a whole bunch of colored beautiful eggs. I don't fucking know, but apparently he laid these eggs that were very colorful in these nests. Why he would give birth and abandon children like that? No fucking idea. And why is it a he? Could be a she. We don't know the gender of the mammal. Eventually, this tradition began to include chocolates and other kind of gifts that you would give on Easter. I know me personally, what I like to do with my son is just give him some, just some presents on Easter morning. I mean, that's what my parents did with me. There was literally nothing religious about it. I don't know how a bubble gun, like a bubble maker gun, could be religious in any kind of way, but we'll move past that. But just like Santa Claus, the kids would also leave out carrots and stuff for the bunny rabbit, just in case he needed to, eat up before laying some more eggs around town, abandoning more of those children, those Jesus children. Now on to Easter eggs. You gotta ask yourself, why Easter eggs? I mean, I made the joke before about Jesus, poking his head out saying, "Hey, you gotta find all the eggs before I'll come out." But, why do we have Easter eggs? Why are they associated with Easter? Now, in ancient times, the egg was a symbol of new life, a symbol of fertility, a symbol of reemergence, a symbol of spring, basically. Of course, the Christians, wanting to mix up the pagans with their own religion, probably worked it in somehow, because they come up with this concoction that eggs represent Jesus' emergence from the tomb, his resurrection, I guess. I don't know how they got there, but okay. Now, the decorating of eggs around this time of year dates back all the way to the 13th century. Now, one possible reason why these eggs were hard-boiled and colored and everything for Easter was that supposedly, eggs were a forbidden food during Lent season. So, at the end of it, it's kind of like a treat to be able to paint them up real nice. And then, you eat the hard-boiled eggs as a treat for making it through Lent, for giving up what the fuck ever. Important traditions involving Easter eggs would be like hunts and this egg roll, right? And now, of course, the White House has an egg roll that it does every Easter. It had nothing to do with religion at all. Like, it's got nothing, it's a completely secular thing. Although Christians have made it about the tomb, like the cover stone on the tomb of Jesus being rolled away. That's what the egg rolling symbolizes. So, as you can tell, Christians will do anything in order to assimilate some kind of new idea into their religion so that their religion mixes with society even better. And it seems like they are so adamant about these things meaning what they think they do, that people end up forgetting how they actually started and just be like, oh yeah, the Christians, I mean, it's the stone being moved away, fuck yeah. Although that's the first time I've heard of that bullshit, but there's a first time for everything. Now, Easter parades, they do have some roots in Christianity. Of course, I mean, every single community group or whatnot is going to have some kind of celebration like this, so it doesn't really surprise me that they would have Easter parades. But like the big Easter parade in New York actually started out by aristocrats, basically, in New York, going to these high-level Fifth Avenue churches, and then after they would go to church, they would parade themselves down the street just to let other people look at them. And then, eventually some of the poorer folk began to get in there and want to watch and see and see what the rich people were doing. But, I just find it really weird that they would be showing off like how much money they have right after coming out of church. I mean, you would think that they would be following Jesus, or they would be thinking about Jesus, and they wouldn't want to be boastful. They wouldn't want to totally go against whatever Jesus was about. Unless you were leaving the church, you were parading down the street, and you were giving out stuff to the poor, and you were doing things for the poor. But you know what? That's not what Christianity is really about, now is it? No, Christianity is really about is power and control. Parading yourself down the streets, showing the poor folk that you have better dress than them, is just a way to show that you are in control over them, like you are above them. It's a power thing. And honestly, I really think that if there is a hell, those people probably did burn in hell. I mean, let's just be honest. If God is real and it's defined, and He is as He's defined in the Bible, there's a lot of people that are like, I'm a Christian, but they're really burning in hell, right along the devil, and they're sitting there complaining for eternity, like, I'm a Christian. Apparently, God doesn't give a fuck. You didn't do it correctly. You saw that homosexual on the side of the street. You didn't kill him. Thank you for joining me today on this short little video about Easter. I hope that you learned something. If you will, go down below and hit that details link. You'll be linked to some more information about Easter. Don't forget to hit the like button if you indeed like this and you learned something from it. That's the point of this video, is to teach you something that you may not have known or even thought about looking up. And share this motherfucker out if you hear somebody out there spouting some bullshit about Easter. I hope you guys have a great Easter and a great rest